billing home. And we post them across our social media pages. If you go on Instagram, you can see all those exquisite properties. And of course, even our Facebook page has all of those great properties. And this video, we're going to be looking at the surge in luxury homes. I want to look at, what the state of luxury home sort of buying and selling is looking like in South Africa. Also, what luxury buyers are looking for. I think this is one of those things. Many of us are not in that tax bracket yet. So we also don't quite know, what do people look for? What are some of the things they're very pedantic about and absolutely will not compromise on? And of course, for those of you at home who are already in that tax bracket and who already make some of those decisions, we're going to be looking at what you should look out for if you are in the market for a luxury home. Now, for those of us at home who may not yet be in this tax bracket where we can afford some of these exquisite homes, I actually want you to, share some of the properties that you find on www.privateproperty.co.za that you absolutely love and you'd want to one day own. So find the link, share it down here below, and let us know what are some of the great properties that we already have on the website that you absolutely would want to own. And of course, it's a Friday. We're going to be wrapping up the competition this week. It's still continuing next week, don't worry. But the Friday edition, we'll be wrapping it up and seeing who that lucky winner of the 500 Rand in cash is going to be. I know we had a rollover yesterday, so you've got 1,000 Rands in the money bag. And all you have to do at home to enter the competition is, of course, comment on the pinned post on our Facebook page, and you stand a chance of walking away with that cash prize. Well, let's get started. We're looking at the surge in demand for luxury homes, and I'm joined by Mischa Van Riel, who's a director at the Real Property Group. Mischa, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Oh, good evening. Thanks for having me. Really, what an awesome platform to just share some wisdom with you guys.
It's only a pleasure, Mischa. Now, luxury homes is not something we talk about very often, and it's obviously because not many of us can afford it, right? It's very aspirational for many, but there are people who are already in that market, and many who are about to, be looking for properties there. Some are already on their second or third and are sort of playing in that field. I think first, let's just look at the state of the luxury home market in South Africa. If you can just paint the picture of what that market, sort of typically looks like, and even the transactions and some of the averages in that sector, what does it look like?
Awesome. So, thanks for having me again. As you mentioned, I'm Mischa Van Riel. We're from the Real Property Group. And, we do property. I do luxury property and I do residential property as well. We develop as well. But, the luxury market is very close to my heart. It's a very, very difficult market. I tell it to my clients daily, we are in a low inventory market. So, it's a tough market. I'm not going to joke about that, but it's just finding the right buyer with the right house, to match the right buyer with the right house. So the market is quite tricky. You must just, like as mentioned, match the right buyer with the right house, and you must be on the front line of your digital innovation. You must know your client. I think I run a property survey on our social media platform, our company, which is the Real Group, are focused to be on the front line of digital innovation. And I ran a thing to check what are people looking for, what are their needs, and what's the price bracket. And my price bracket came in how many people are in the market for the 15 million plus price bracket. And as you know, COVID hit, so automatically it's low inventory. And just to how can I say it? People are starting working remotely, so they're looking for space. They're looking for the luxurious living space. And it's a tough market, but I need to tell you, there is a market for that. People's got money and people is investing right into, let's say, the luxury market.
And, Mischa, I think one of the things that we recognized with COVID was the historically low interest rates did quite a number of things. One of the things that it did was it, opened up the opportunity for home ownership for people who previously couldn't access it because of where interest rates were. So we did see that, when we look at that price point of even properties around 5 to 700,000, there were quite a number of first-time entrants. And then there were people who, because of the financial implications of COVID, downgraded their homes, and at the time they could have been owning, properties above $1 million, so they downgraded. And then there were those who upgraded, who thought, look, I can actually afford to live in a slightly more expensive house, and I know that I'd be able to afford that particular mortgage. I'm almost keen to find out from you, when you say it's also a low inventory market, is it a low inventory market because of the economics, or there just aren't that many homes at that price point that are just generally available in South Africa?
Yeah, so I must tell you, it is definitely because of the change of economic season. And also, I encourage my buyers daily, and I encourage my sellers daily. There's a buyer for every home. Your home will sell. I just think it's a thing that your home must be priced right as well. And let's say the low inventory market, or the low inventory market that we're in with my clients are not, let's say, they are not advised right to if they can buy bigger, if they can over capitalize more. But I think what is important is to just advise your client right. I mean, luxury iron speaks for itself. Clients don't know what they approved for lately. So I think we as agents, we property brokers, we're taken through that whole process. And I just think, with the low interest rate, which is a benefit for us, it's definitely, like I say, we in the development market as well. So I work with a lot of investors as well. And obviously those investors that can buy those luxury properties, we just cross-pollinate and cross-sell them back to our developments, which we also develop ourselves as well. So when we speak about luxury is a different meaning as well. It can be anything against, let's say, 5 million plus, 50 million plus. But it's just to match like I said, to match the right buyer with the right house. But the thing is that we're struggling with is stock as well. And clients, I've got a huge demand for stock in my market. I've got a huge demand for clients that want space. There's no space. I need to find them that. I need to find them more bathrooms. I need to find them office space areas, because a lot of people are selling their offices and they're going to luxury golf estates where they want lands, and they want property, and they want property, that's a given, but they want how can I say it? How can I explain it? They want that space. They want that living space to work remotely from home. And I just think, like I mentioned, the interest rate, obviously, but it's just a demand for stock. And clients, you need to advise your clients right to list at the right price, because regardless, any property that's listed right will sell. That's a price right will sell.
And Mischa, one of the things that we know about people sort of in that price bracket when they're looking at properties at that price point is they come with quite a lot of demands.
They do, yes.
So, and especially when they know they're already pre-qualified, they've got the money for it. There's so many kinds of demands that they typically have. I'm keen to hear from you. What are some of the key things besides space? Because I think space is such a big one. And unfortunately, in a lot of these estates, your own area is, you're lucky, for instance, if you get 1,000 square meter, or if you get a hectare, for instance. I know with some of them you've got your whole hectare, so it's a really nice small estate. But unfortunately, there are only so many of those that are out there in the market. So what are some of the other key features do people who are in the luxury home market looking for?
So let's say a thing, I want to rephrase this quickly, because my thing is also, you need to know your clients. Remember, if a client comes through in my leads or through on your amazing platform that you give us to advertise on, you need to build a relationship with that client as well. You need to know that client. You need to know what that client is looking for. Remember, it's his most prized possession. It's investing into, let's say, building a family or raising a current family in their home. So you must nurture that relationship so well and build that relationship with those people. But to get back to your question is, firstly, know your client, what do they want? But it's like people want bathroom space. I think a lot of people, I've been working with a lot of clients that want bathroom space. They want the his and hers basins. They want the double showers, the combined showers. So I think the problem that I'm struggling with is bathrooms. People want bathrooms, but I mean, you must advise them right. They want bathroom space, they want entertainment space, and they want office space. I think they want more bedrooms, and the demand is not there for stock at the moment. I've got the clients, I'm like up and down the whole day. I've got about, let's say, currently now, 50 approved buyers that can buy from the 50 million plus. But you need to nurture that relationship. You need to drive with those guys. You need to show them options. A client doesn't know what they want. So I think at the end of the day, bathroom space, it's stupid to say, but my clients are looking for bathroom space.
Look, I mean, between bathroom and even kitchen, I think it's one of those two things that so many of us, struggle with across price points. People's bathrooms are very, very small, and to put it frankly, many are ugly. And so, at that price point, you do want a luxurious bathroom, and it almost should be standard that his and hers, double vanity, things like that. You expect them to be fairly standard when you're buying at that price point. But I wanted to go for a quick break to see who the lucky winner is for this competition that we're running. We've got 1,000 rands in the money bag, and when we come back, I'll still be in conversation with Mischa Van Riel, who's a director at the Real Property Group. And the winner this evening of that 1,000 rands that is in the money bag is Buhle Maduna. Buhle Maduna, I hope that she is watching us. Drop us a text down here below to claim your prize. That's going to be a great way to end off your week. So Buhle Maduna is the lucky winner. And if you want to be just like Buhle, all you have to do is to comment on the pinned post on our Facebook page. Want to find out from you some of the great advice that you've picked up from the show, and of course that you also use in your everyday property journey. But as we continue this conversation, looking at the surge in demand for luxury homes with Mischa Van Riel. Now, Mischa, I think you wanted to add something there before we went on the break, talking about some of those amenities that luxury buyers are always looking for, and the importance of just knowing your client and, of course, keeping them as happy as possible as you also look for that stock.
Yeah. So the thing is also, like I get back to, you must know your clients so well. I mean, I work with a lot of clients. A person who's going to buy luxury market, people, let's say ourselves, which is brokers, we get so lazy sometimes, we get so frustrated with the market. But we need to nurture that relationship, like I mentioned to you. And it's a difficult market. I'm struggling a lot with people canceling appointments. I'm struggling a lot with people wasting our times. But it's just about building that relationship. Sometimes, even now during these economical markets, I drive sometimes 6 months with a client to show them houses, to show them options. You need to show your client options. My thing is, in a luxury market, you need to build that relationship with your clients, and you need to make sure that what they want, you need to find them that. Even if I believe in broker collaborations, I believe in agent collaborations, even if you go source that property through other agents, work together and put the right property in front of the right eyes. So I think that's so important for me in properties, to know your clients and to know who you're dealing with. And it's a luxury market. It's like a dealing. How can I say it?
You're dealing with temperamental clients. You're dealing with clients who know they've got the budget, and they can ask for these things. And they're typically the type of people who are not used to compromising on things money can buy, right? So there's also that thing of, these are things money can buy, and I do not want to compromise. And so I want to have it my way or no way. We are taking your questions and comments this evening as we talk the surge in demand for luxury homes. And I see the winner is indeed present. Buhle Maduna is watching and present. So congratulations there to Ubuhle, walking away with that 1,000 rands that is in the money bag. And of course, as we go to your questions and comments, Siska de Vries is actually watching us. She was our guest yesterday as we spoke about holiday and short-term letting. And she is saying, absolutely knowing your clients goes a long way. And this is something that she'd certainly attest to. I mean, yesterday she even spoke to it directly. One of her clients coming on saying that they've received incredible service from her when they needed to get a holiday home. And that's something that's very important. And I see that she's also sent us 99 stars on our Facebook page. Thank you very much there to Siska. Matashingan is saying environmentally friendly. Yep, huge bathrooms, bigger bedrooms, modern finishes. Absolutely absolutely necessary. And I say gorgeous because the team has actually sent me some of the great texts that you have sent me. Lindy Sichabela Bongani, Queen B Mabunda, Farana Siddiqui, Glad Shirinda. Thank you very much, ladies, for the compliments. I really do appreciate it. And now, Mischa, I then want to look at what tips would you then give for people who are in that luxury home market, especially right now, as you said, that you have low inventory, you have people who have their needs and their list of demands. What tips would you give them as they get into wanting, whether it's another property or it's going to be their first luxury home property that they're adding to their portfolio?
I think the thing is, for me, I'm so much for relationship building. I just think my advice to people will be take the time, take the process. I mean, it's a big sell. It's a big buy. Build relationship with that one agent. Don't build relationship with 10,000 agents. Build that relationship with that one person and make sure, be honest with your agent. Tell them what you need during these. Tell them what you need. Tell them what home you're looking for. I just think just be patient. I think if that for my clients as well, I think a lot of my clients are not patient. I think trust the process, trust that we will give you the right property, that we will sell you the right property. And it's also for us. I tell this to my agents a lot. They're going to, to my agents, to my clients a lot. They're going to come back and they're going to tell me, listen, yeah, you must sell my house in the next 5 years or resell my property in the next 5 years. So it's so crucial. The property that you sell is priced right. It's so crucial, the relationships that you're building, that they come back in 5 years. And just sell them. It's a process. I think just be patient with the process.
And I think the other big thing is, because there also just aren't that many people who are able to afford a property at that price point, referral is quite a huge thing, right? So if you're able to get a great service from Mischa, and even if it took, let's say, 8 months to eventually get the dream home, you're with them and walk the journey with them. It's so much easier for them to recommend you to their own circle when they're now in need of that particular property. Now, Mischa, what would you say are some of the mistakes, besides, of course, being impatient, that some of the people who are in the luxury home market would typically make as they navigate that home ownership journey?
I think the mistakes that people make, again, they I don't know how to explain it to you. Actually, it's like the mistake people make. They want to overcapitalize firstly, and I think people want to overcapitalize firstly, and I think for me, what the thing is, they want it now. I think it's a process when you buy that luxury property. So for me, the thing that people like you mentioned, for me, it's like they don't trust the process. I think that's so much. Trust the process and trust that we will give you the right house at the right time.
And that's such an important one. And then from the seller side, because obviously there's somebody who has to sell.
My sellers are so impatient. It's so impatient. It's so frustrating. I always tell my people, I'm working towards the deal. I'm not working for the buyer or the seller. I'm working towards the deal. Trust me when I say it's also frustrating for me. I think sellers must have patience with the agents as well. Let's say if they're in the 15 million plus, I think it's a difficult market to tap into. That's why we're on the front line of digital innovation. That's why we do our ad spend with you guys at Private Property and other property platforms as well, and make sure that the right buyer, that we match the right buyer or the right seller with the right property.
And that's such an important one. I think impatience is a big one, because by the time you're deciding to sell a property that's 20 million, you might sometimes perhaps need the liquidity.
Remember, it's a big choice. It's a big choice to make when you sell that property. I mean, we work in developments as well. We build ourselves with a family business. And I think that's how I build my relationship also up, a relationship up with people. It's a big choice. They want to downscale or they want to upscale. So it's a big choice. Just like, again, trust the process and just make, I don't know even to say it, but patience. We've got a very difficult job.
Trust the process. It won't happen overnight. There are only so many people in that price point who are going to be looking at your property. So also getting a good sense that it's not like, for example, the 1M mark where the pool is actually quite big, and so you have more prospective buyers who are going to be looking at your property. It's a very small bit, very niche part of the segment, and so understanding that certainly does help. And as we wrap up, Mischa, any final tips for viewers at home when it comes to the luxury home market?
I just think you must just make sure when you choose your agent, just make sure they specialize. They specialize in let's say what you want to. They specialize in the luxury market. Just make sure they show you options as well. Let's say, for instance, in our we develop ourselves as well. Pre-approve your clients, even if they even if they buy luxury market, I deal a lot with cash people as well. We do investment properties as well that we develop ourselves, and we work such amazing ROIs out. And if they're buying that property or that luxury property, we cross-sell them to our developments as well and give them amazing ROIs and amazing, also a luxury lifestyle and a luxury smaller living. And also to build their relationship, to build the relationships up, sell them something smaller now, take them through the process, take them through the bond attorneys, or the bond attorneys and the transfer, not the transfer attorneys. Sorry, I messed it completely up now. But I mean, just take them through the process with your bond originators, make sure they're pre-approved, and just sell them maybe something smaller now if they can't afford it, or sell them something bigger later.
Well, Mischa, we are going to leave it there this evening. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's such a pleasure to have you with us.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for the opportunity to speak on your platform.
And that is Mischa Van Riel, who's a director at the Real Property Group, wrapping up the Friday edition of the Private Property Podcast with myself, Uzamantungwa Khumalo. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us on the show. I'll be back on the screens on Monday at 7 p.m., but you can look forward to the Home Shoppers Show with Chad at 8 p.m. Until then, hope you're staying home and staying safe.